Hello, good morning, investor and corporate. Welcome to Set Digital Roadshow third quarter 2022 performance review. This section will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. Company will start the section by 30-minute presentation, followed by 15-minute Q&A. And during Q&A, investor may leave your question in meeting room chat box or use raise your hand function. We will open your microphone so you can ask the question to the company directly. So may I now invite BEC World Public Company Limited to start the presentation, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Seth. Okay, let me share my slides first. Can everyone see the slides now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning, investors, analysts, and fund managers. Today I have with you Mr. Piridit Chupungat, our CFO, and me, Panugon Piridit, Head IR here. We would like to thank you, everyone, for your interest and joining this meeting today. First of all, let me go through to what we have in mind for our companies, and we would like to update you on our third quarter's performance. And before we go, I would like to share what the company is committed to in order to drive the business for BEC Group's sustainability. Of course, we are committed to becoming a role model for the societies as content creators and mass media that efficiently respond to customers' needs in order to develop its business for sustainability goals. And of course, we like to create opportunities for our employees to learn and enhance their potential to various areas that they can lead the companies towards the goals in a sustainability framework. Another part is to create the benefit for societies and taking into account the needs for societies responding and collaborating various partners to develop Thai societies for sustainability goal. And the last is, of course, is to actively reduce the impact of climate change by promoting knowledge and understanding through its content and inspire societies to care for the environment in a sustainability way. Of course, here's are some of the selected ESG programs that we did in the third quarters. As one is that what we call the Care the Bear is to promote the climate change and provide knowledge for our employees. And of course, we promote waste management within the company. And another second part is we have is the what we call the CH3 Young Journalist Projects, where we have 15 candidate people in order selected to be to take part in opportunities to join out in the real work with our professional journalists, including preparing their minds and learning skills in order to go, with the goal to promote good public medias and create inspiration and encourage Thai societies uh, to have the value for Thai societies. And the last part that we like to share is we are now the members of the CAC, or anti-corruption, and we are now the full members here starting since June 2022 to June 2025. So before we go into the performance, let's talk about a little bit on the highlights, what happened in the third quarters. If we could recap here, the death rate and infection in Thailand had been reduced, and of course, the government has already loosened its state of emergency protocol, and tourism is back to Thailand. So this is a good news that been impacted by COVID for the last 2 years. But another part on the global economics we have seen here is the Russian Ukraine conflicts, and of course the supply chain disruption, which continue with the to pressures with inflation not only in Thailand but throughout the world, and of course the global economic slowdown. Another part that happens in the third quarters here is Thailand is the flood in the urban and agricultural areas in many provinces during September and early October this year. So this affects the media spending in these 2 months a lot. And another part is, of course, BOT has forecast that the GDP in Thailand, latest forecast is for this year is to grow by 3.3. However, they reduced down to 3.8 for the next years. It's due to the prolonged than expected global supply disruption, and the part that is positive is that after we open our countries, we are seeing higher foreign tourists coming in, and this could help boost the total economy. So let's see what will happen. But of course, in the third quarter, as we could see here, is that um, for the Thailand's media spending in the third quarter's growth year on year of 17% due to last year's there's a lockdown in Thailand due to COVID, but this year's there's no. But however, if you see that in the third quarter's here, the total media spending reduced by 2.1% Q on Q from 30 billion to 29 billion. And if we look into the blue part, which is for television, um, total it grew by 5.5% year on year from 14.9 billion to 15.7 billion. However, reducing 5.9% Q on Q from 16.7 billion in the last 40 years. So if we look at the total for this 9 months in Thailand, overall media spending grew by 11% year on year from 79.3 billion to 88.1 billion, and which is grown from okay after everything is back, the cinemas, the out of home, outdoors, and internets are still growing. For TV, we grew 1% year on year for the first 9 months of this year. And if we look back into our main TV content, which is Nielsen's TV rating here, we are still the leaders in the Bangkok and urban for the whole day. And on the left side of the screen here, you can see that we are still doing a great job for the whole day. And on the right side is for prime time, which is from 18 hours to 22:30 hours for all 15 plus Bangkok and urban. We had a little drop in the second quarters, but now we are back in line to be the leaders for our target group, which is all Bangkok and urban 15 plus of age years. So before we goes on, I think one of the things that we would like to talk about is that there's a little change in the rating that will be starting in Feb next year. This is what we call the cross-platform rating. At the current stage, Thailand only have what we call the TV ratings here. So NBTC and the Association of Digital Television Broadcasting Thailand has appointed AGB Nelson to do the new cross-platform rating. So, what is the cross-platform rating about? It will be the solution to provide like a single and deduplicating and incremental audience across the board between the linear and digital streaming and television here. The key milestone is in the graph here. Now we are in the stage that we have the rating that is available to the members of the Association of Digital TV Broadcasting is for TV and digital, but we are still in the for the third quarters here. We will have the catch up. Now they are still installing the equipment. So we hope that by February next year, um, we will have a total audience. What would this help? You could see on the large page, this is only for TV. That means the rating is not accounted for all the digitals or the catch-up program that our content is being uh, live or streaming on all the online platform. So this is how the cross-platform ratings will help in the near futures here. Then I think I'll pass it on to our CFO to talk about our financial performance in the third quarters here. Thank you. May I have Kun Pilidit, please?
Thank you, Khun Pannakon. Hi. I would like to summarize third quarter performance of BEC Group. The first 9 months of BEC's had net profit of 458 million baht, about 460 million baht. So it's the same in the same range as last year's 9 months. So this third quarter, as Khun Pannakon mentioned, there are two major impacts to the advertising business. The first one is there was the flooding, and the second one there was economic impact of the global crisis and also impact to the advertising spending. So this also impact to BEC also. In the third quarter, we report net profit of 111 million baht as the two major things happen. However, there also have a business that grow a lot in the third quarter, like the global content licensing. In the third quarter, when comparing with last year, it's grow about almost 100%. And but however, digital platform this year there is a global crisis, so some of our global platform have an impact. So this digital platform business in the third quarter has reduced for 50%. For the cash, BC have a cash at the end of third quarter of 4 billion. If you look at the cash at the end of last year, it's about 4.7 billion. So between last year and to the third quarter, we have paid 1.5 billion cash out. The first 1 billion is for the debenture repayment, and the 0.5 billion is for dividend. So which means that after we pay 1.5, the cash that used to be 4.7 billion reduced only to 4 billion. So which means that we have a surplus cash about 800 million on the 9 months. And also the net cash flow is 2.2 billion. This is quite strong. Could you please open the next page, please? If you look at the total revenue quarter by quarter, this year the total revenue growth of 2% from last year at the same quarter. But for if you look by quarter, the total revenue decrease of 3%. So this is the impact, like I have mentioned on the flooding and inflation. And when we look at the GCL global content licensing, which is the licensing to overseas and digital revenues, the third quarter altogether of the two business was 172 million, which increased by 5.9%, 6%. Okay, so this is the business that even though there has an impact, is still growing. If you look at average ad income per minute versus utilization rate, you will see that the utilization rate of the television advertising is approximately 69%, comparing with last quarter about 72. So it's a pretty close, and the utilization rate pretty much the same as previous quarter, but a lot better than previous year, because previous year was at 60%. In the next page, when we look in the details of the revenues, the total revenues for 9 months reduced about 5%. The advertising income reduced about 1.6%, which is pretty much the same as last year's 9 months. However, the copyright income has reduced about 72%, as I mentioned earlier. If you look at the GCL and digital platform for the first 9 months, the global content licensing do a lot better comparing with year's 9 months. However, the digital platform this year, there is an impact to customer, which is a global OTT platform. So they postpone the purchase of content. Then this revenue has reduced. If you look at the 9-month average utilization rate, this year is 68% comparing with last year is 65%, which is better. Okay. In the next page, please. When we look at the cost quarter by quarter, the third quarter, the overall cost increased about 6% year on year and about 3% quarter by quarter on quarter. If you look at the cost inside, the cost which increase is mainly on the administrative expense and the selling expense and includes some one-time expense in that. And also, however, the major expense like the broadcasting and content cost has reduced by on about 1.5% year on year, but increased about 2.8% quarter on quarter. When we look at the 9-month cost in the next page, if we look at the 9-month cost of this year comparing with last year, the cost has been reduced about 5% year on year. The reduction of the cost was from first the major expense, which including the broadcasting and the content cost, it reduced about 7% year on year. But there the selling and administrative expense increased in this year because we having more activity and promote on the drama since this year comparing with last year, which have the lockdown of COVID. So this year we start to do the marketing activity. If we look at the next page, the financial ratios. When you look at the cost profit, the cost profit is around 30% from last year and from last quarter. And if you look at the last month, it's about also 30% increase, about 1% from the last year. For the EBITDA margin, in the third quarter, there are reduction of in EBITDA margin, but when you compare with the first 9 months this year and last year, it's pretty much close because this year is 53%, last year is 55%. For the net profit margin, when you look at the 9 months this year comparing with 9 months last year, this year is better from when compared with last year. Last year was at 11.4% and this year is 11.8%. Next page, please. For the balance sheet, there are 3 points that I would like to address. The first one is the cash. If you look at the left-hand side, the cash at the end of the 1st December last year is 4.7, right? And then at the end of this quarter, the third quarter is 4 billion. So the difference is 0.7 billion, right? And however, we have, like I mentioned, we have spent 1.5 billion for the dividend and the bond repayment. So which means that after even we pay 1.5 billion, we still have cash of 4 billion. So it's a strong cash on hand. And the second point that I would like to address is the liabilities. We have one previously at the end of last year. We have one major bond is about 3 billion. At the end of this third quarter, that is reduced to 2 billion. So this is the second area that I would like to address. So we have a lot less liability. And the third one is financial ratios. If you look at the net IBD per equity and net IBD per EBITDA, so both are negative, which means that we have the cash on hand or the cash flow from operation uh, more than the interest bearing debt. Okay. So I would like to pass to the next session to Kun Phanokon on strengthening and growth.
Hello, thank you, Kun Prerit, for the performance. Um, okay, let's talk about what are we showing to our customers now, to our viewers here as dramas in Thailand is still the major content that Thai people are still watching on TV, and it's basically on the prime time. Prime time, what do we say mean by prime time? Prime time is 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. This is now currently we have three dramas on air. The first one is the Greenery Conspiracy. The second one on Wednesday and Thursday is the Roots, and on Friday to Sunday we have Lip Gloss Spy. These are the three um, main drama series that we have on air today, and we have one rerun prime time, which is from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. From Monday to Fridays. Well, we will have You Are My Makeup Artist, which will start on the 1st of December, which is which we have Golf, which is one of the famous young artists that we have here, and this will be his first drama series with China Trees here. And of course, we already have the lineup for our potential customers for both local and international in order to see what we have our lineups for next year's. We will have, for instance, the Betrayal, and of course we will have Love Destiny 2, which is one of our most popular drama series in the last 2 years. And this is the second part, which will talk about the second generation of the kids. And so these are the lineups that we have for the early of next year's. And of course, we also are trying to expand to younger generation by having LGBT series on late night shows. And if we talk more on our global content licensing business in the third and the fourth quarters here, in the third quarters we have one Bad Romeo simulcast to China to Tencent and VIU Singapore, and two more titles to Netflix Southeast Asia. And in the fourth quarters of this year, we will have four titles broadcast simulcast to Netflix Southeast Asia here. What do you mean by simulcast? Mean it's been simulcast to each online platform on a date of broadcast, and then they will be streaming on our partners platform. So in order to, after COVID is easing and then we are available to fly, we will go to participate in what we call the Asian TV Forums and Market, the ATF, in Singapore in early December here, where we have networking and business matching with our potential partners, which we will have our dramas line up as it's shown you in the last page, in order for us to be able to sell for both us new and of course our libraries that we will bring to share in the events. And our another business is the digital platform business here. We have two main monetization uh, business models here. One is the AVOD, where if you see the growth for our AVOD here, it grew from 40 million users in last year to today. We have 43.7 million, so 8% growth for AVOD. We will see that majorities of the growth is, of course, in Thailand from 37 million to 38 million, which is around 4%. But you could see that due to our content is traveling throughout the world, we have a growth in the America, Southeast Asia, and other part of Asia in Europe. So this will be our next tactic or strategies in order to grow um, our viewers in North America too for next years. And if we look our SWOT, which we have what we call 3 plus or 3 plus medium, 3 plus premium. Our 3 plus members grew from 36K to 164K as ending of this year, or grew by 360%. However, but if we look our active rate is around 34%. So on a monthly basis, we have at the end of October, we have 56K people subscription to our service, because some of the subscription users were subscribed on a 1 month daily basis. So this is why the numbers reduced down from 164K to 56K. And of course, as I told you about our cross-platform ratings. So if we just look on the Nielsen cross-platform rating for online and TV players ranking, we could see that we on the blue part that you see is CS3 players. So these are the rating. We are leaders in our online platform streaming for all TV players in Thailand here. However, these numbers are still we will still have to see, because all the video catch up, which is basically for all the OTT players, are still not in place for the numbers. So we hope that we could see more numbers coming up in the next time if we could meet. And then I'll pass on to Mr. Purity to talk more on our BC studios and how we're going with that.
Thank you, Khun Phanukon. So I would like to update you on the post-production studio, which we have complete, and then it will help us to streamline our process, because we normally outsource this area. So when we do it ourselves, so we will have control on the production process more. And the virtual studio that we in the process of the acquisition of the like equipment. So which means that after this we can do more of, on the content that in various location, and also the cost saving to the content production. The next page will be on the production progress on the new type of content. The new type of content we target not only the local audience, but also the international audience. And also we have put the like integrated marketing communication within the content, which means that we can have additional revenue from tie-in and for advertising that is in the content. And the next page would be the update on the new business on the movies that we will have the movie introduced on this month, and then we also introduce the new artist and it's on the Thai songs. So last one on the page 27 is the update on strategic framework on single content and multiple platform. Like 50 something years ago, we started as a TV broadcaster, and the last five years, we have developed to global content and digital platform. That last year we have start from zero, and in the 3 or 4 years we reached like 800 million baht. And at the moment we have start 4 new business this year, like movie, music, BEC studio, and integrated marketing communication. And next year we will start the artist management. I think that's all for me to update. So we would what is the next section would be on the Q&A, right? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, the section has come to an end. So on behalf of the Stock Exchange of Thailand, I would like to thank you investor and corporate for joining the conference. We look forward to welcome you all again in the next quarter. Thank you very much and have a good day. ขอบคุณค่ะท่านผู้บริหาร
ครับ
Thank
ขอบคุณครับ
you.
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ